When I sanded back, I cut through in a couple of places along the edge here. So, and you'll see the colour change, but don't ignore it. You really got to have a good coating of epoxy or the boat coat on there, because if you haven't, what'll happen, even when you put the aqua coat over it, because the aqua coats and any polyurethane for that matter is only about 85 to 88% waterproof. Eventually moisture will get through, and what'll happen, you'll see those spots go light yellowy colour after a while, because the moisture will get through it. You've got to have a really good layer of epoxy on there, and a high solids epoxy, none of those solvent based things, to ensure that it's waterproof. So when I'd pretty well cut through in those places, I taped up along the edge here, and I've put some more boat coat on overnight, let it cure, and we'll sand this off. Now I'm just going to use the random orbital to come up the edge. Never use sanders to on your radius. You'll cut through it every time. You just cannot control it. So I'm going to hand sand the radius areas, then I'll rough sand until the tape comes off, and then I'll go down from there. That way we're ready to aqua coat once we get that. Okay, I've hand sanded right around the edge with 80 and 120 grit, and I've taken all the gloss off. And hand sanded, don't use the sander where there's radius. Always hand sand, so 80, 120, so I got the majority of the gloss with the 80, and once size down to small specks or starting to discolour, I went to the 120. Now I'm going to move to 180 and 240 to finish it off, and then we'll be ready to aqua coat. But before we aqua coat, we'll wash it, because I'm sweating, and any sweat that goes on the surface can be enough contamination, the oil out of your skin, to stop the aqua coat sticking. So let's finish sanding, and next major step, we wash down with soapy water, preferably hot water, and a scour pad. Just a bit of liquid detergent. I just use one of these squeezy bottles, put a bit of liquid laundry detergent in it and top it up with water, and away you go. Give her a good scrub. That takes all the dust off, make sure it's clean, and also it cleans any oils and that from sweat off my hands. We're all human, we're all got a bad habit of wiping our hands over the finished job to see if we've got it all sanded. That's enough to stop water-based paint sticking, and it also affects the solvent-based stuff as well. Just the solvent can handle a bit more residue on the surface than what the water-based can. So important to scrub down, make sure it's clean before you start aqua coating. Next step, we'll throw some aqua coat on. Okay, I've just finished doing this first coat on the top. See how it's nice and glossy? It'll go quite dull when it's dry. But the good part is, we take our brush, give him a wash out in water, and it's clean and ready to go for next time. Just give it a shake out. Leave it there, because I like it nice and wet. And the other thing we do, our plastic container, we cover it. Right, don't leave it uncovered, because the moisture will come out of it. We put just a disposable glove over it, and keeps it all nice and fresh. Ready to rock and roll.